Hey, Brian Boyle here, and I just wanted to kind of tell you a story about this beautiful peach tree that I've got sitting behind us. This is absolutely great peach tree that has provided us a ton of peaches and a ton of fruit over the last couple of years, but it's also taught me a couple things, and it's kind of interesting when you think of fruit trees and nature and such, but how it relates to the business world and our lives in general. But it taught me four valuable lessons over the last 4 years that we've been here, and I just wanted to share those with you today. It's kind of interesting when we moved in, the owners here that told us that the tree had never blossomed, it never had any peaches the entire time that they were here, and they said, we planted this beautiful peach tree, but not sure that it'll ever do anything. We've been here a few years and haven't had anything. I think that's the first lesson. You can be doing everything right, and you could still not see the labors of your fruit, because the following year, that spring summer, we didn't do anything different, didn't change anything, didn't add anything different, but we had a fantastic peach crop. And so that valuable lesson number one is that again, things just take time. You could be doing everything that is that's right, that is right, and some things are just going to take time to produce that fruit. And so that's the first lesson. The second lesson is that that following year, again, you need to have that, as Jim Rohn would say, you need to have those seasons. You need to have the winter, and then you need to have the spring. In order to get to spring, you have to go through that winter. And then once you get through spring, you're planting, you're harvesting, or you're planting in hopes of harvesting something in the summertime. And sometimes you'll get a great crop, and sometimes you won't. And that following year, we did nothing different, and we didn't have a really good peach crop. And again, it wasn't that we had changed anything, wasn't that we had done anything different, but some years are just going to be that way. And so, even though you have to go through that winter and spring, lesson number two is that you've got to prepare as if you're going to have that summer harvest, and you always got to prepare as if you were going to have that. If you take it for granted and say, well, I'm not sure I'm going to have much, you'll never have anything. So you've got to take that, and prepare, go through the winter, the tough times, get to that spring, and then again, you'll be ready for that summer harvest. And so the following year, what was really great was we had this big, just a fantastic year, and we had all of this fruit on the tree, and we saw all of these buds. And I went out a couple times, and I took my big orange bucket, my 5-gallon bucket, and I was actually starting to pull buds off because we had so many buds on this tree, and it just looked like, oh my gosh, this is going to be this bumper crop. We're going to have this amazing year with peaches. And the crazy thing was that the peaches all were so small. They were so small because they were fighting for each other for water. And so even though looking at the tree, and actually we broke limbs. I mean, there were limbs that had come off of the tree because of the fact that there were so many peach buds on this tree. And I thought we were going to lose the tree. It was growing and growing and growing, and finally, the one day I came out, and the tree limbs were touching the ground, and and so that's lesson three. Is even though you may have a lot of really, really good things going on in your life, they can be seemingly fantastic. Sometimes they may be taking away from your business, they may be taking away from your personal life, and sometimes too much is not a good thing. It can actually cause damage to the tree. It could actually cause damage in your life. And so, even though you'd say, my gosh, you have all these peach buds, we're gonna have this amazing year, we almost lost the tree. We almost, we almost lost, the fruit-bearing capability, and the fact that the peaches turned out so small, they just weren't really all that great. And so your quality and things can suffer in your life, even though seemingly things are going really well. And so last year, what I decided to do was I decided to cut the entire tree back. I mean, I literally took all of these branches off. I mean, in October, I had probably 4 main shoots coming off this tree. I took every single branch off that had flowers. I took every new shoot that was coming in, and I'd heard a lot of people tell me, like, my gosh, I think you killed the tree. You took too much off. And I kind of thought, well, maybe I did, but it is what it is. I think it's going to be better for the tree. We'll leave some of the bigger branches there, and the tree looked like it was still in good health. And so this year, as we did this, we got through spring and we got through summer, and we have had some fantastic nice, big, juicy peaches this year. And so that's the fourth lesson is, you got to trust your gut and don't always, don't always listen to others. Sometimes cutting away all of the excess, sometimes cutting away the things that aren't helping you in your life and in your business, that can actually be beneficial. And, you can actually produce better quality better quality fruit. And, so as you're thinking about this and you're kind of taking this analogy of the peach tree, it is amazing how nature can correspond with, with our own lives, with how we go through life, with what we end up doing, and how the quality of what we do can be affected by if we're doing too much or trying to do too much and thinking about too much, not listening to other people, making sure that you do plant and keep planting those seeds out there, if it's business or if it's in relationships, whatever, and you keep working on those things. And that sometimes things will just take time. It's inevitable that good things don't happen overnight. We've all heard of that overnight sensation, 20 years in the making, and that person was just plugging away. And so, as you're going about your day, think about this peach tree. Think about all it's been through. Think about all that you've been through. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, thanks. Bye.